What's going on, guys? So we got a lot of news yesterday about a new trilogy coming out, but also there was another announcement in that Star Wars confirmed they are developing a live-action TV series to go on their streaming service similar to Netflix. Now, this may not come as a surprise to a lot of you because there's already been speculation that this was going to happen. There's already been kind of rumors of it. And it also just kind of seems natural. Think of... I imagine this is probably going to be a very big budget kind of show. So imagine something on the scale of like The Walking Dead or Stranger Things or Game of Thrones, but in the Star Wars universe. So I think that's going to be, and those aren't probably all the same. I think Game of Thrones has a catastrophically larger budget than Stranger Things, but still that level of popularity, that level of viral, like social, everybody knows about it. It's going to be. Well, I have very high hopes for it. And I have a feeling Disney's going to really do a good job with this one, especially if this is kind of going to be like a launch title for their new streaming service. Now, they currently already have a date for when it's supposed to be going live, or at least a rough time frame. They're saying the end of 2019, potentially early 2020 if it gets a slight delay, but... they have been, so far, they've been pretty good at keeping timetables. Rogue One had a little bit of a pushback, but other than that, everything else has been pretty much on schedule. What's not clear is if this new show is going to be in the Old Republic, if it, like it's been speculated originally, some of the earlier rumors were that it would be an Old Republic show, or if it's going to follow some of the new characters or the post-sequel trilogy universe, so First Order and Resistance still, New Republic, or if it'll be in between Return of the Jedi and the Force Awakens. There were a lot of talks about like a Jedi Academy storyline from Luke Skywalker's perspective, and a lot of people have always kind of wanted to see that, especially to see more stuff involving Luke. I don't know if they're going to do that, though, because like they said with the original trilogy, or I'm sorry, the new trilogy that's coming out, that's going to be a totally different corner of the galaxy and not focused on the Skywalker saga at all. So I don't think it's necessarily going to be this, the same with this one, but I think it's likely that they were going to try to develop Star Wars in a different direction, that they're not relying on the exact same characters. They're not relying on the Skywalker family or Han Solo or Leia or Chewbacca or Yoda or the Emperor or anybody to carry this. I am going to make a prediction, though. I think no matter what they do, whether it's with this trilogy or this live-action service, I do think that they're going to need to have somebody with ties to the original trilogy to pull it together. Maybe somebody with ties to the sequel trilogy as well, depending on where it is. So, like, if Rey and Finn are in the premiere episode, yet they're not like, maybe they're recurring characters, but not necessarily in every episode, that's probably one thing that could be good. But I don't know if they're going to actually do all of that. I don't know if it's going to really have sequel characters, or if they're going to bring somebody familiar. Like, I would love to see Billy D. Williams be, a recurring character in this new trilogy. Maybe Lando on one of his adventures goes there, and especially if he's not going to be in the sequel trilogy, which I'm still kind of annoyed about. Although there's still a chance, but they're going to need somebody to pull us in. Otherwise, we might just simply not care about these new characters at all. Imagine if the sequel trilogy, if Force Awakens didn't have Harrison Ford, didn't have Carrie Fisher, didn't have Mark Hamill, didn't have any ties to the original trilogy at all. I don't think we would have cared as much about those characters at all. Like, having Harrison Ford interact with these characters made them so much more memorable. And I think maybe that's one reason why Rey and Finn are more of a fan favorite characters right now than Poe Dameron. Like, if Poe Dameron, for example, was flying alongside Wedge in X-Wings, then maybe we would have connected with him a little bit more. But that's just me. I mean, I'm curious what you guys think about that. Do you think that they're going to be, that you need like that anchor point to nostalgia to kind of get us to emotionally invest in these characters? I think so. But also I wanted to speculate a little bit on where they might do like this live action series. The Old Republic is obviously one. The Jedi Academy is obviously one. But also there was rumors of an Underworld show that they were going to do before the Disney buyout happened. There's possible that could still happen. Like that Coruscant Underworld, like like 1313, they were going to do that game too, so there was a whole lot of lore and stuff in the underworld of Coruscant, so it could potentially have something to do with that. Or if they do decide to delve forward in the outskirts of like unknown regions and kind of go into different parts of the galaxy or beyond the borders of the galaxy, it's possible we might see something like with the Yuuzhan Vong. Again, a lot of people keep talking. A lot of people really hate the Yuuzhan Vong too, so I don't know if that's going to be something that Disney really wants to gamble with. I think if they do anything with the Yuuzhan Vong, it's going to be well past, you know, once they have a foothold in everything. Like once they're willing to take a gamble, and I don't think they're gonna want to go too much with a gamble on this new show. And I don't know if they're going to want to gamble too much on a new trilogy either. I think they're going to want to try to do stuff that's a little bit safe and a little bit familiar. And after that's cemented, like if this show is a huge hit, then they could potentially gamble with a spin-off on the Yuuzhan Vong or something like that. But I just have a feeling there's going to be so many people that are against it that might revolt. They might not be popular enough if there's not enough of a familiar, like if it's got Thrawn in it, and maybe Ezra and Sabine going on to take on the Yuuzhan Vong, plus like the Chiss ascendancy or something like that, then I think that would be familiar enough that we might be on board with it. But if there are no familiar characters, I think it's too much of a gamble. But I would love to hear what you guys think. Probably a lot of more interesting stuff coming out today. We had a huge bomb dropped on us yesterday on all of this stuff. Lots more stuff, so make sure you stay tuned for that. I do still have a giveaway going on right now until Thanksgiving, and all you need to do is be a subscriber and leave a comment on one of my videos to enter. If you want bonus entries, you can enter my painting contest on Crabbok.com. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments what you think about a live-action show. Will you sign up for Disney's streaming service if you're going to have a Star Wars live-action show? All the Star Wars content we've ever had, all of Clone Wars, Rebels, what would it take to get you to sign up? Would you want access to things like maybe the Christmas special that had gotten pulled? Would you want stuff like that? What would it take for you? I know I would be in for it on day one, no problem. But that's that's me. Plus I've got kids, and having all the Disney movies available on demand would be fantastic. So and for some reason, all of my Star Wars DVDs and Blu-rays, everyone I've ever bought, A New Hope always gets scratched. I don't know why. It's always somewhere between when they leave Mos Eisley and before they get captured in the Death Star. I always have scratches on there, and I don't know why that is, and it's just frustrating me, and I'm starting to think that digital may just be the way to go. And I was always against that growing up. I was always like, well, digital's great, but not as your primary. You got to have the hard copy backup. But now I'm just like, screw it. Let's just go digital. But that's me. What's going to take to get you to sign up for something like that? Or are you just not interested in it at all? But let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for more stuff. We're probably going to have some news today. I'm expecting an X-Wing article, so stay tuned for that. And hopefully some more interesting, exciting news related to gaming. We got more Battlefront 2 streaming coming up probably later tonight, so make sure you stay tuned for that, and have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching.